I need to change the intro, but because it doesn't really feel like e-commerce is the only type of folks that listen. A lot of logistics folks out there.
Yeah. Good morning, logistics. Good morning, AI.
Ooh, yeah, they are listening. They are. They are listening. I'm your host, Ray Roberts. Joining with me today, my co-host, David the Arbro Savage.
You're the host with the most.
Thank you very much. And you are the, I don't know why, but sometimes Dave's a doctor, sometimes Dave's a wrestler. Today we're going with Dave, wrestler persona, Dave, because you've been in Florida.
Yeah, when you're in Florida, you tend to come back more as a wrestler than anything. I feel like you tan, right? You tan, and
yeah,
your hair grows out maybe a little bit.
Wrestling alligators.
Somebody told me the other day, we were talking, I think you were on a call, we were talking about wrestling, and they said something about being Hacksaw Jim Duggan for Halloween. I'm like, what a great costume that would be. Get your 2x4. Did he have a 2x4 that he would?
Yep.
Yes. So easy.
That was my favorite era of wrestling because of one wrestler in particular who wasn't even my favorite wrestler, but everybody thought we were related. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh yeah, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Put me on the map, baby.
Heck
on
yeah.
the map. Are you related to Jake the Snake Roberts? I don't know. I'm not sure.
You always could have done that. Well, maybe, because maybe you are.
Maybe. I mean, his name is. I don't know. I have family down that way. You know. You say when you're a kid, you have no idea what you're talking about.
That's pretty good, though.
So, tell the folks what in the world are you doing in Florida?
Well, I was at a trade show by the name of CSCMP.
Ooh.
And yes, and it was a great time. CSCMP is one of those trade shows that is more networking focused. So, it tends to lead itself to more educational sessions, lots of time to kind of interact with folks, talk about industry things, mingle amongst different vendors that are got different things going on. But yeah, we in fact, Lajua had a nice big booth there, 10 by 20, so really stood out. That was impressive and really nice to have. And then our CEO Erhan actually spoke to a packed session at CSCMP. What's interesting is his talk was at 5:15 on Monday. And let me tell you, standing room only.
Standing room only. I'm sure that was quite the event. So what are the type of, if I've never been to CSCMP and you've just come from there, do I go out there looking for investors? Am I out there looking for partners? What type of relationships are being cultivated?
I feel like at that show, you really got two things going on. The first thing you got going on is companies, you have your vendors, so you have exhibitors that are down in exhibit hall. So obviously if you were looking for a piece of technology, WMS, a lot of trucking, things like that, AI, just all that stuff is there, including kind of the hardware piece of that. They're all there. Not a huge show. Don't think ProMat here. We're talking, very small, intimate show. So you're going to get that.
How many people do you think?
Oh, they might have had, if I had to guess, I would say there's probably a few thousand.
A couple thousand.
Yeah.
So that is a pretty tight show. So yeah. Is that the kind of show where you because typically you're going to see like the DHL roof party? Are there a lot of breakout post-show type big events like that?
Yes, there were a lot of networking. You can see all the signs up for everybody having their little shindigs throughout the hotel. It was at the Gaylord, which is nice. So you're
it's a nice hotel.
You're all kind of staying in one spot, so therefore the interactions happen all the time, whether it's in the morning or I met people in the morning drinking coffee and walking here. I'd see someone and we'd sit down and talk, or maybe at dinner or after dinner or whatever. So that's another good advantage of that. And then
Because if you've not been to the Gaylord Palms in Orlando, it is its own city. You don't need to leave the hotel for anything.
you don't. It was interesting
Everything's
too.
there.
Yeah, it was interesting too when I checked in, because I have status with Marriott, and they're like, "Hey, you know,
Ooh, wait a minute.
well, I
Let's
I like to put
take
that
a
out there,
second.
but- I like to put that out there, but good shout out to Marriott, I guess.
Dave has status with Marriott.
Let me tell you, I don't have status with very much, but I have status.
You're
with
preaching to the
Marriott.
choir, I'm sure, because I bet a lot of the folks out there. I mean, business folks, we tend to travel Marriott because they've got hotels everywhere.
They really
and the
do.
rewards program is easy. I'm in the same boat as you.
Yep.
I also have status with Marriott,
Uh-oh.
and I like
we
my.
already knew that. We already knew that.
I like my Grey Poupon slightly slathered.
You can pre-open mine.
Oh.
But so you're talking about the Gaylord Palms, and it's funny
God,
because
it's a great
the way
place.
the way it's set up though, if you think about it, it's reversed. So most hotels you face out. Well, the Gaylord Palms you face in, and an example of that would be in my room. I got upgraded to a suite, and I had 2 balconies, and guess what? They both face the inside.
So
So
the
I'm like-
balcony thing, that's an interesting, and let's take a couple seconds to get your opinion on this. It might depend on where you are inside the dome. For those of you that haven't been at the Gaylord Palms, the rooms, like you said, are facing in, and there's a gigantic dome area. What do they call that?
Atrium? Is it an atrium, maybe?
atrium. It's an atrium. And there's a river in there, and they've got a bunch of alligator pools and all kinds of
Yeah.
crazy, really cool stuff. It smells gorgeous, like fresh flowers all day, every day. But I've heard from the reviews, and when I stay there, I purposely go to the new side that doesn't have the atrium, because I've heard, and I've never experienced it because I'm too scared to, that it can get really loud in the room. Like it's
It
just
can.
really noisy.
It can and did. You know,
Yeah.
so we obviously at the times they know when to shut it off. They had a huge wedding that took up
Right.
that middle spot.
Oh,
Man, it was
wow.
loud.
Oh, wow. I bet so, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a freaking wedding. I can't even imagine at the Gaylord, too. That's a great time.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
that's what I've heard. The experience from guests is like, yeah, it's really pretty, but,
Yep.
and what gave me the inclination that was the thing. So when I was there at Ryla
Yep.
earlier this year, I noticed that, and I looked around, and we were leaving, and it was at night. We were going out, hanging out, whatever, doing something, and all the curtains were drawn in every
Yep.
single room. All the curtains, none of them had their doors open
Nope.
to enjoy the balcony, which is air conditioned, right? It's not like it's
Yeah.
it's temperature controlled. I was like, oh, that's odd.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up, and that's the reviews.
Yep. Well, I had.
Hey,
2
let's
of
get
them.
it. Well, yeah. So you had double trouble.
Yeah, I could pick one to go sit at and do nothing.
Now, the question on my mind is, did you have a chance to? Is it allowed? I guess I should say, for you to enjoy if you're the type to smoke a cigar, for an example, out on the balcony. Is that?
Nope. I thought about it, thinking how would they know, but you can't do that. It's frowned upon. It's frowned upon. But they do
How
have
they-
really good outdoor
How are
area.
you gonna
They,
know?
they wouldn't know, but it was beautiful, and they had tons of nice outdoor seating. So,
Absolutely.
props out to the Gaylord Palms, and the event was good. It was a very good.
Yeah,
event.
it's a really cool place. So let's shift gears real quick, because I want to go over to right now. It's happening. Prime Day.
Yes.
Q4
I didn't
Prime
even know
Day.
that. I didn't know that, so I pulled up my. I mean, shame on me. Pulled up my app.
What?
It's like Prime. Oh, don't think I didn't jump on in, but
Well, that's why I'm surprised. It's not because you have an industry relevant podcast that talks about these kinds of things, but it's that I know you're an Amazonaholic.
I don't know how I didn't know. I didn't
I'm-
know.
I'm proud of you. You haven't been on Amazon in like 2 weeks. That banner's been there for so long.
Well, and it's funny too because I did see the banner.
Are you okay?
No, yeah, I'm fine now. I got my orders in, but I did
Okay.
see the banner. But
Oh,
I
thank
just
God.
I just thought it was like their advertising. Like sometimes they do these, you know,
Yep.
they try to make you think. So, oh, I need to go in there and look, and So,
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
And I know, as a professor of e-commerce, we're shifting gears. You're no longer this. You
I'm
are
a
now.
wrestler. I'm a professor.
You are
Hold on.
now Dr. Yarrow. Please get ready.
Hold
Prepare
on, I got a
yourself.
monocle.
Okay. While you have the monocle in,
Oh,
what was the prime record set? It was a record sales set in 2022. What would you have? I'm sorry, earlier this year. What hazard a guess? How much did Amazon take? It was July, mind you, in July.
$1 billion.
You're kind of close, Dr. Evil. You want to take another guess?
$5 billion.
12.7
Oh my gosh! I seriously thought I was way high.
billion. You thought you were way high? Yeah.
I did.
I mean,
I thought I was just being
right.
funny.
No, $12.7 billion.
Hold on.
Which-
So let's dissect that for a second. That is that is just Prime.
2 days.
That's
Yep.
incredible.
2 days. It's
That a lot
the
blows my mind.
record.
But that did.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That just happened.
It did. And Amazon obviously has a Prime Day going on right now.
Yep.
And a key indicator for this Prime Day is going to be, is it higher, lower, on par? Where are we economically speaking? Because I know there's a lot of turmoil and uncertainty in the world
It's interesting.
right now, probably more than we've seen, in decades.
Yeah, I agree.
Consumers spent $6.3 billion on just the second day alone of that Prime earlier this year.
And keep in mind, all those other outlets do their own sales.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, I have a friend who does stuff inside the military, and APHIS runs a big sale for people in the military to compete with Prime Day,
Yep.
right? And so
Yep.
they are capturing their. And remember, APHIS is I believe, the largest retailer in the world, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
Does a number of
Could be.
bases, and
Yeah.
I think they are, or at least
be.
up there. So there's no telling what they do.
Because
in
there
sales.
are. Yeah, I mean, there's like a couple thousand bases probably in total.
Oh
that
yeah,
they're
I wanna say
managing.
they are one of the largest retailers in the world.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's
so
just
that
one
would be
example.
an interesting statistic to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, what is Prime Day going to do? Here it is, October. Now, for those of you who are maybe unindoctrinated to e-commerce, October is peak season. It is where your orders skyrocket. They go through the roof. October, November. It starts to lull December because people, who didn't last minute shop anyway, have already got their stuff. So.
Right.
And they want to get it in enough time that if there is a return situation, that they, get stuff done on time, to get it back to the consumer, the right item that they should have sent out just the first time. If
That's
only, Dave, that there was a product or service that helped people to get the right items to the right person every time.
Well, you could use Excel, I think.
You could use Excel because that would enable your workers to have a mobile device that they would go into their. Wait, no, it doesn't.
Nope, it does not do that,
doesn't do
and
that.
it has no intelligence built in, so you can't do
No
that.
AI,
There has
no automation.
No,
Ooh.
no automation. I think the only way to do that might be by using a solution I know by the name of Logiwa.
Wow! Are you meaning to tell me, you sir, are telling me right now that there is a product that will ensure my brand experience is delivered to the customer every single time?
Not only that, you can help your staff become more. They can become more enabled on the floor, and you can actually do more orders with the same people.
What?
If I had a microphone, I would drop it. Nope, you did. Yeah, it's amazing. And
Okay,
people are doing
serious
that
note.
a lot. Yeah.
Tell us about this. You were just out there talking to folks,
Yes.
getting folks engaged, excited. What are they saying? What is Lodua doing? How is it impacting everybody?
Well, so Erhan's talk at CSCMP focused around, what is your WMS costing you in revenue, and how is it impacting your business? And if you think
Right.
about every business today, I don't care what business it is, I don't even care if they admit it or not. They're all sitting in meetings, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, talking about, say it, Ray, they're talking about
Inventory, sales,
money,
the supply
revenue,
chain,
everything.
costs.
everything. And so,
Ah!
yeah, right. And so knowing that, since it all revolves around revenue anyway,
Right.
that's where Lodua, that's where we've come in and started to make impacts with these companies. And it's funny too how you could watch the graph, how it's like, oh, we're being talked about. Like if we could graph Lodua in the industry and news wise, it's like, oh, we're hot and heavy, and it's like nothing. Let me tell you right now, everyone's looking for that edge.
Oh yeah.
And we had, I can't tell you how many, I'm not going to use names, but how many large companies came to us. And here's what they would say. Ready?
Ready.
I need to meet with you. That's
Okay.
a different
Okay.
conversation than
Yeah.
what do you do?
What do
I
you
need to meet
do?
with you.
I need to meet with you means I know what you do. I've heard about your impact. I
Yeah.
need to get in on this.
Big
You're
companies.
right. It's a competitive advantage. That's what we're all looking for. So I'm an e-commerce business guy. I've owned and operated e-com businesses. I'm looking at my margin, and right now in 2023, in the circles that I run in, everybody I know, they're all looking at their margins, going, "Gee whiz, how do I get
Right.
that better? How do I get the scrutiny you're getting from investors too?" Okay,
Yep.
show me the P&L. Where are we at? Can you change this ingredient for something different to help bring it down? I mean, we're talking about pennies on the dollar, but that's what we're doing. We're literally pinching pennies. So Lodua is that kind of program that gives you the competitive advantage through operational ownership.
That's right.
You own each part of the operation in a way that keeps the efficiency focused, so you can reduce that cost in labor, in time lost, in your time, business owner, that you're spending doing stuff. It is an incredible program that enables you to have the edge in 2023 and beyond. Because if you think this economy is going to get better on January 1st, you're wrong.
Yeah. I think where a lot of people get lost in all this conversation is they attempt to do too many things on their own,
Yeah.
and they also take a current process that they're doing today and think that that's normal. Like, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to go find a system to fit this. And it's like, well, hold on. That could be the case. I'm not going to say that there aren't really smart business owners out there that run
Right.
e-com companies, but 9 times out of 10, if you come with the problem, then Lodua is able to come with an answer. And that the
That's
answer is more, think of it as walking you through the process. It's like doing a home renovation, right? You don't just hire someone to come in and they start doing stuff, and while you're doing it, they just don't start building it. And you're like, oh, no, just change that. They come up with a plan, and that plan includes asking you questions and getting your buy-in to what you think you need to do, and they give you direction on that. That's what I think Lodua was really good at.
Lodua, the blueprint of e-commerce.
Lodua, the renovation WMS. Renovate your warehouse.
You want an open floor plan? We'll build it.
You want to add a story up top? No problem.
Mezzanine? None of your business.
Basement? Never heard of her.
Never heard of her. I don't know how we went from being a D2C WMS to home renovations and HGTV style, but
I think
man.
it's good. How funny would that be? Okay, dude, you just gave me a great idea.
Let's do this.
Yes. Do you ever watch? So you watch HGTV?
So I've seen it, yeah.
Okay, and then so all those shows they have about renovation.
Yeah, all the
and
home
all this stuff.
renovation is.
That's
Every
how-
time you're in the dentist's office, that's all you see.
Yes, and that's how they should do. Like Lodua should do that for warehousing. And go, okay, you know, we're gonna
Yeah.
we made all these changes. Here, look at your new warehouse. And they're like
Oh,
flipping around like, oh my
God.
goodness, it's
Oh, wow. Look,
I
I
can
can
do
see the
so much
floor.
more. Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
everything's so organized.
Wow. Is that my mezzanine?
Yeah, you got a mezzanine? I got some flow rack. What?
I couldn't even see it from all the boxes.
Oh, that's too funny.
Oh,
But really,
man,
in my
I
mind-
can
in
see
my
that.
mind-
I can see that.
I know, and in my mind, though, I mean, in all seriousness, I think once Lodula gets done with an onboarding with a customer,
Oh yeah,
that's almost what I believe it's like.
it
that
is a
feeling-
realization, isn't it? It's like when you're even going through the process, and one of the questions that we often ask, and people tend to go, I don't know. It's why.
Yeah.
Why do you do it that way? Why is it like that? Why do you got that there? I don't know. It's like, hey, it's normal. You're not alone, right? People who don't operate warehouses and logistics center professionally for 15, 20 years,
Right.
you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know. It's the thing. It's like, I don't know what I don't know.
Yes.
You don't recognize that you don't know what you're not doing right. But
Well,
we
and
do.
Yeah.
And that's why you bring us in.
Work on what makes you great.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason I'm not a professional basketball player.
Wait a minute.
I
Wait
don't know
a
if you
minute.
know I'm not. I know. Probably shouldn't have broke this to you live. On the all
We're
50
on
people that are
air.
watching- I know 50 people that are watching now are
So
watching you.
almost 200 actually
Oh, 200. Wow.
across all the platforms. Yeah,
Kudos to us.
we're getting there.
I know you're shocked, and I don't want
Well,
you to
wait a
cry
second.
knowing that
I need to-
I don't play professional
I had your
basketball, but-
trading card somewhere
Mhm.
around here. I could have swore I had a David Yarbrough trading card. It's you with the cigar and the
Yeah.
basketball.
I don't even fit on the card. It like cut me off. I'm like wider than the card.
It's just your head. You're
But I will say, this episode's already off the rails. Let's just keep going off the rails. If I was a professional basketball
Go.
player, my position would be last second full court shot guy.
last second full court shot guy.
We just that's all
The
you're
Larry
in for.
Bird. The Larry Bird of 2023. David Yarbrough.
I'm talking
the wide-
full court, baby. Full court.
What
I
was
want
that? Larry Bird had a nickname, the wide open white guy or something like that.
Oh, that's funny.
It said the most dangerous player on the basketball court.
Yeah.
During that time, and I
Yep.
forget one of the other players. It was either Kareem or somebody who had given him that moniker of the most dangerous player, wide open white guy, Larry Bird.
Yep. Yep.
Like, because
That's awesome.
he just nailed him, right? He
Oh,
just
heck
nailed
yeah.
him.
But I
Of
kind
course,
feel
growing
like
up in Indiana, that's my guy, right? So.
Oh yeah. Well, and I kind of feel like too that we were talking about and I was saying I'm not one. Well, there's a lot of things that as a company you're not. You don't try to be. And so as I'll tell all these e-com owners that listen to our podcast, don't worry about the fact that you might have problems. And when you're
Yeah.
talking to us at Lodula, we may call them out. That's okay
We
too.
will.
That's what we do. I mean,
That's how you realize. That's
and
how
I'll
you
give
realize.
one more. I'll give one more. If they're talking
Get in
to somebody
there.
if they're talking to somebody currently,
Yep.
that's a WMS, and they're sitting
Yep.
there and they're not calling you out on your process, run away. That
Because
means
they
not
don't
in your
care
business.
or they don't know themselves.
There you go.
And a lot of times it isn't that they're being malicious, it's just that they're not experienced. They've got a salesperson who's been doing it for 6 months. Yeah, we've been doing it for God.
Combined
20
we'd be
years.
Retired.
Yeah,
And
we would
combined, we'd
actually.
be retired?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 20 years at this now.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
had to
am.
think about it for a minute. It's like, yep, I'm about almost 20 years in warehousing and logistics. So,
Yeah, 'cause mine started on the ops side and ended on the WMS side. So yeah, I've got tons of years in.
yeah, I've been toiling this rope for a while. Okay, so we've got Prime Day. Now it's time to predict Prime Day. This Prime Day. So the growth margins. Let's take a look at that real quick. The increase of percentage from today increased 6.1%. Was the last Prime Day earlier this year. So 11.9 billion was 2022 Prime Day. Then the July Prime Day, 12.7 billion here in 2023. What do you think is going to happen this Prime Day that's occurring right now?
My gut tells me that it will decrease a bit. It will be down.
All right. So what do you think, man?
Oh, it won't be much. I think it'll be down $1 billion.
Down 1 billion. So you think we're gonna be in that 2022 Prime Day sort of number, 11-ish, not a billion, 11 to 10 billion.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go opposite of that.
Okay.
I think it's going to increase. I don't think it's going to increase a lot. But what we're seeing is people have a much easier time choosing to use credit to buy things right now. More credit debt than ever in the history of this country we're seeing right now. And I think with Christmas coming up, those folks who couldn't justify using that credit during July Prime Day, they will justify using it for Christmas Prime Day is effectively what this is. And so I think this number is going to go up. We could even see maybe in the 14, 15 billion.
Wow. I mean, that's impressive.
That's my guess. That's my take the wind measurement. The wind,
Mine was truly based on current happenings. You know what I mean? I was just taking everything that's going on, saying, are people
current events
interested? Are people really interested in making purchases right now? Are they thinking about that, or are they distracted? Don't know.
Absolutely. And that's a very, very good perspective to have. So we're on opposite ends of the metric here, which is great because then we can get both sides of perspective. And, I think that sometimes these global crises have a way of shifting consumer experience. And in consumer behavior is a fickle beast, that's for sure.
It is.
But people tend to retail therapy more when there's global crisis, which is the exact opposite of what they should be doing, which is saving their money.
I may eat my words. You're right.
But we will see. We will see. It could go either way. The numbers haven't been posted yet. I have no idea what's happening. I'm sure probably by tomorrow or the next day, because I think today's the last day for it, right?
The 11th, I believe.
That's today. Yep.
Yeah.
Today's the 11th. So today's the last day for it. We will find out what's happening with Prime Day. And on that bombshell, where Dave and I are opposite ends of the spectrum, enemies for a day. Intangible. Commerce. I mean, this was a hard-hitting episode. We always slide in there with some kind of thought-provoke in there at least, but I think this was a fun episode. Dave, appreciate you coming out and joining us today on this episode. And hope you had a great time in the MCO, which is Orlando for you non-logistics people.
For you non-flyers.
For you folks who stay on the ground in your two balconies, hey, in status. Oh, hello, Mr. Yarbrough. Your suite is ready.
Good day, Dr. Yarbrough.
Oh, good day to you, sir. And we're out. Bye, everybody.
See ya.